Hey guys, it's Bailey and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to give you a quick review of the Maskcara IIID Foundation Palette. Recently used this in a tutorial and a lot of you guys were interested in learning more about it, so I wanted to share my thoughts today. This retails for $42. You can see you get a palette here. You open it up, it has a really nice size mirror inside, and you get 4 cream products, a contour shade, a highlight shade, an illuminator shade, and a blush. Basically, this is supposed to be an all-in-one face palette. Replace your foundation, contour, highlight, illuminator, and blush. 5 products kind of in one. So for starters, this has actually been out for a while. Cara, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but the reason it's spelled Maskcara is because the creator, a beauty blogger, vlogger, and makeup artist named Cara, who is also Allure's 2013 Beauty Blogger of the Year, she created this. It's been out for a while and it got my attention because she recently reformulated it and relaunched the site, so I didn't catch the first time around, wanted to this time because the concept seems so unique, and a lot of products promise those, make those all-in-one promises, but I really wanted to see if this one delivered. So I went on the site and created a custom palette. 3 of these 4 shades are customizable. There are 3 different contour shades, 3 different highlight shades, and 3 different blush shades. There is only 1 pearl illuminator though. I was a little worried that because of the narrow shade choices here, it was only going to cater to a small part of the skin tone spectrum, but when you're on her site, there is a guide for picking your right highlight and contour shades, and it shows them on everyone from fair skin to deep skin. So it really does flatter and work for a wide range of skin tones, which is good news. The highlighter is pretty universally flattering and the blush is very buildable, so you can either dab it on very lightly for what you can see is a pretty light color payoff, or layer it on. More often than not, I find I have to dab excess on the back of my hand so that it doesn't come off too strong on my cheeks because it is that pigmented. So now let's start with the process. How exactly do you use this, or how to hack highlight and contour is what she calls it. She has all this information on her site, and what's actually really useful, she has face charts. So it's how to highlight and contour, not just in general, but for your specific face shape. So definitely recommend going there if you want more information. But basically, she recommends going in with contour first. I totally think that's the best move because I find that if you overdo it on the contour, it's easy to go out with the highlight shade and blend and buff that out. So she has a dual-ended 3D foundation brush that I didn't get because I figure I have so many brushes here, I'm sure I could find one that did the job. What I used was the Real Techniques sculpting brush. This worked really, really well for me. It's dense enough so that you pick up enough product to layer on not only the pigmentation, but also the coverage, because keep in mind this is your foundation as well. So this picks up the product, and I placed it right in the contours of my cheeks, right around my hairline, and underneath my jawline. I'll admit it was a little weird, kind of scary at first, seeing this streak, this harsh streak down my cheekbone because I didn't have an even base like I normally do when I apply a foundation, but don't worry. And by the way, the demo that you're seeing here is the first time that I ever used or tried this product, so the learning curve is small. Even though it might feel like a very foreign concept to you to completely skip foundation and go straight for a cream highlight and contour, but it really doesn't take a lot of getting used to once you do it once or twice. So went in with that contour first, then I took, this is a BH Cosmetics, there are a ton of brushes like this out here though. Basically it's an angled flat top kabuki brush. I prefer this kind of brush because this smaller tapered tip allows me to get right in my under eye area here, and once again it's dense so it can pick up a good amount of that highlight cream so that I get some decent coverage. And basically I applied that everywhere where I didn't apply the contour. Then I kind of went back and forth between this and what was left on my contour brush to even it out and just make sure things were evenly blended. Then guys, that is literally it for the foundation and concealer. Some days, like in the tutorial that I use this in, I'll find that I need a little bit of extra help in the concealing department, but I'm not wearing concealer now. I found that this provided amazing coverage. It's a cream to powder formula, so even though it goes on, it's very emollient, it has full coverage, but it doesn't feel heavy. And once it sets down to that powdery kind of finish, it really does stay. The one thing that I did notice though is that if you have combo to oily skin, I personally have combination skin, you will most definitely want to set this in areas that you tend to have issues with, like your under eye area is #1 for me, and your T-zone. Once you do that though, this stuff sets and stays all day. The lasting power is awesome with this, and there is no oxidation, any of that. It looks the same way after hour 1 as it does after hour 8, 9, 10. It wears beautifully. Onto blush. Now both the blush and the illuminator dry down to a dewier finish. So you want to be careful with the blush. The first time in this demo, you'll see me applying it. My mistake with the blush here was that I applied it to the apples of my cheeks, which I can sometimes pull off with certain blushes, not with shimmery blushes, and I didn't realize this had a dewy finish. So once again, for those that at least are combo to oily skin, keep that blush to the mid part of the cheek all the way back, because you'll see this in a video coming up actually, that it didn't take long for that excess shine to really build up into more of an unwelcome shine down the center of my face. So just a word of warning for you combo to oily skin users. Beyond that though, like I said, the blush is super pigmented. More often than not, I had to blot it off on the back of my hand to make sure that I wasn't applying too much pigment. But even if I did, I found that it blended really nice and easily and smoothly into my skin. And like you would hope, but can't always necessarily expect from a cream blush, it didn't disturb the foundation underneath. These play really well with each other, even when layering. And by the way, because I don't think I've mentioned it yet, my blush shade is Dahlia. It's this gorgeous hot coral shade. Almost a hot coral. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it, but there is also like a lighter pink and a deeper rosy berry almost. And the last step, of course, is the illuminator, but I kind of made the same mistake with this as I did with the blush in the demo. I took a big old brush and just went to town on my face with this highlighter. It's very potent. Be more deliberate with where you apply it. I am a huge fan of just packing on the glow. It's really easy to do that with this, and especially because it's not only shimmery, but it is also dewy. It gives you a ton of glow, but especially for those of you with combo and oily skin, not necessarily where you want it. So I use the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush for a really, really precise application, but the Brussels is a place. The bristles are dense enough to apply to the tops of the cheekbones, and then I like to go in with that same buffing brush to blend it out and soften it up a little bit. But just to reiterate, despite the fact that these do dry to a dewy finish, they don't move throughout the day. They don't develop any excess dew or shine, unless of course it is in your T-zone, and then just avoid that altogether. But beyond that, they last beautifully throughout the day. And now I think it's time for overall thoughts. In case you couldn't tell from my enthusiasm throughout this whole video, I really recommend this palette. And I think the benefit to using this over reaching for 2 different shades of foundation and a blush and a highlight, yes, you do get more variety with that, but this is simplified into a nice compact. It's great for travel, it's great for reaching for on an everyday basis, and just, like I said, it's a no-brainer. Even if it's your first time using it, it took me less than 5 minutes to apply a complete face because it's all here. So if this kind of all-in-one product appeals to you, or if you were curious about this product in particular, I really recommend it. I think this formula is a winning one. It lasts all day really nicely. In case didn't make that clear, it's awesome. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this video helped you guys out. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.